Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wanted for October 26th, 2024. It's Season 1, Episode 34. I am Mayor Watt, and that is the visualizer for the Sentient AI. And together, we're going to be talking about these 10 articles. It's all about gadgets and gear, and... oh, 5. 5 articles. I don't even have a script. Production value at an all-time high. 5 articles. Blackout curtains, RGB and wireless headphones, a 97-inch television, power tool deals, and instant ink HP Envy. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com. Go over and become a citizen. One of the channels there is called Wanted, which matches the show, just like all the rest of our shows, Non Sequitur News, and Reality Hacker, and the Continuity Report, and Warcrafters, Technology Today, and finally,
Four Wheel Tech.
Four Wheel Tech. Thank you. All right. We'll see you on the other side. All right, folks, let's get going. Hello, Sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
So our first article is over here. So if you're in a studio, or if you like having your abode darkened so that you can sleep, because maybe you sleep during the day, you need blackout curtains. And so Wired apparently tested and reviewed some of these, and you can't see it because I already do some corrections for it, but I've got one window that's in the studio that still bleeds through, even though it's actually surrounding. It's the window frame itself that there's a little gap between the blackout shade that I've got. And so a curtain might do better, right? And in fact, I like the idea of putting magnets on the window frame so that the curtain can actually just stick right onto it. But let's see what they have to say. So these blackout curtains are reviewed by Molly Higgins over at Wired.com, and they have several here. The best portable one that they have here is $24 at Amazon. I won't follow the links. You can follow it.
Now that sounds like a really good idea, because when people travel, light is often a significant issue.
Yeah. But how big? I mean, sometimes you're staying in a place that has this massive window. The curtains are sometimes good, but they don't always go up to the ceiling, and so light can bleed through. It kind of becomes frustrating.
And with all the restrictions on carry-ons and checked baggage, how is that going to work?
Yeah. You wrap yourself up in it. So they have one that they say is best overall. It's $109. Pottery Barn Peace and Quiet Noise Reducing Blackout Curtain. Those are actually they're usually heavier, as well as, well, completely opaque. You can't see anything through them. Those are the kind of things that I like, because I want to be in a studio. I want to be able to control for all light. And if I want to crash, if I want to sleep, then I want to block out all of the light. Because there's a couple of problems that I have, which is I'm a really light sleeper. I can hear a mouse fart in another building. So if I'm sleeping and somebody slams a door too loud, pretty much anywhere, I wake up and go, what the hell? And I'm kind of in fight or flight mode when that happens. What the hell's going on around me? Why am I awake at 3 o'clock in the morning? Then they have a runner-up, which is West Elm Worn Velvet Blackout Curtain, which is for... Whenever I hear a velvet curtain, I always think that it's like for a movie theater, you know, like the velvet ropes. And
exactly. I mean, that's the most common place you would find those.
But then they actually have one that's referred to as theater grade curtain. Sun Zero Oslo theater grade extreme 100% blackout rod pocket curtain panel. That's only $19 at Wayfair. So it's probably only about that big.
That's right.
I once bought a couch and a side chair from Wayfair, and it was all of the same. It was the right dimensions, except when you got it, it seemed like somebody dehydrated it. And although it was still X long and X wide, it was really thin, and it was kind of like made out of some material that I could only equate to the bones of birds. It was really light, kind of flimsy. You were afraid that you were going to break it if you sat down on it too hard. Yeah, that wasn't interesting. It looked like, but ultimately, like when you compared it to other furniture, it looked like kids' furniture, but it wasn't.
Right. Yeah, maybe it's geared at people in small living spaces.
Yeah, I suppose, but it was the same measurements as, you know, when you measure a
maybe they shipped the wrong furniture.
No, because it was actually this. It was the right stuff. It's so weird. Anyway, then they have customizable option and honorable mentions and not effective. A category down at the bottom of this. I won't be able to go through all of these simply because of the nature of the beast. There's a bunch of products in here. There's 7 of them. But so the best overall is this right here, and you can hem it so that it doesn't dangle all that far down. But if you're going to test them and return them, then I guess you don't do that kind of thing.
Well, plus you might want a little bit of overhang so that they're not letting light in at the bottom.
Yeah, I suppose. This particular one let a little bit of light in from the side, so you could actually tell that there was some light hitting that panel, but there isn't anything getting through it. So, how much did they say this was? It was $109. It's not bad at all. And then there's another one here. I don't know if this was actually, it looks like it's 2 of them. But that's the West Elm Worn Velvet Blackout Curtain. These really do look like you would put them in a home theater.
Yeah, which is good because they look substantial.
Yep, they look really heavy. Made of polyester and have more of a tight, thick weave pattern that is double-sided with a back paneling to block out even more light and noise. And then they have a rod pocket as well. Or back tabs to create bunched or pleated look. So this one is $149 at West Elm, and it's 1 panel. So if you've got a lot of windows, be prepared. And then they have a theater grade one, which doesn't really look theater grade to me compared to the other one above it. This one actually looks kind of thin and kind of chintzy. You can see the fold lines.
Yeah, it's really odd. The one from West Elm looks very substantial.
Look at that. That thing looks like it's weighing the ceiling down from the wall side. Jeez. This one is sitting there going, eh. But it does a bang-up job of blocking the light, except for what bleeds around it. That's kind of the biggest headache for me, is that unless you get something that is very, very expensive, there's nothing edge to edge that significantly blocks out all light. You have to kind of do something weird like magnetically attach it. I mean, at one point I cut a plastic panel so that I could set it inside the window frame to create a gap between the outside wall and the inside wall, right? And I had that magnetically attached and blacked out completely so that it had insulation and everything in it so that it would absorb sound and block all the light out. So I went way beyond a curtain. So talk about over engineering.
Hey, but if it works.
Yeah, I did. So here's another one. It's a portable one. It says that it's a travel blackout curtain shade. It looks like they've actually set it inside like a window in a shower. I don't know what is going on here, but
right. So that explains, because it doesn't look like aesthetically pleasing, but it's not supposed to be.
So it holds on with suction cups.
Well, that might actually be what's needed for the home ones, because then you might have less light coming in from the sides.
Look at that. Yeah. You just stick all of the little suction cups on there and it pleats itself in various ways and covers up from corner to corner everything about it. I wish they had a picture of the light not coming through, you know, just to see if any
exactly, because it looks like it's in daylight in the way the photo was taken.
That's really interesting. So yeah, it blocks out everything. Might have to get that for the studio. That one's actually quite interesting. And then they go on and it kind of just falls apart from there. So I'll let you all go and check this out. In the meantime, be sure to follow us. Go over to YouTube, follow us, like us there, leave a comment there. Subscribe to the podcast. That would be great. But let's move on. Our next article, and I want the blackout curtains, and that's why I chose that topic. So the show's all about gadgets and gear that we want. So this next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Pardon me one second. Okay. So this next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Razer added RGB lighting to its Barracuda X or 10 wireless headphones. I think it's 10 actually. You know, come to think of it, maybe it's X.
I think it's an X because it's like a cross.
Yeah. So they added the chroma accent lighting. As with other Razer headphones featuring RGB LEDs, the Barracuda X Chroma's accent lighting can be customized through the Razer Chroma Studio desktop app or software. The software for it's such a tax on systems, at least on my systems, that I've removed it, and I've actually moved away from Razer because I don't want to have to use their software to utilize the resources, you know, that use it to its full capability. But maybe it's just me. It was always updating and it's always running, and it's just a real pain. But I am willing to give it another try as it evolves and gets better. But let's take a look at these and see. So they look like they're going to be comfortable as hell. They got a big old boom mic. These are definitely gaming ones. You wouldn't use them on a show like this, not that I know of. But the lighting effect is going to be pretty cool because looks like the full range.
It surrounds the ear cups, and
yeah,
it looks like there's a logo too.
Full spectrum, and the logo gets lit up, so it's not going to be just green, which is really bad because I've got a green screen, which means that those would be transparent when they're running.
So don't ever have green headphones.
Yeah, exactly. Or have them all green so they're invisible. Although, when they're on your head and you move anywhere...
Yeah, I think that might look a little weird.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wear nothing but a green suit, except for my face.
That would be kind of creepy, I think.
Because
all they would see is your face.
Face and the hat. That's what I'm going to do. What are those suits called? Those, what are they called? They're like alien suits. The like Zorg suit, or what is it called? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Hold on a second. We'll do this live. No, that's not it. I don't know. I don't have time. Let's keep going. So yeah, I would give these a try. I want another pair of headphones. I want one that has a reliable hinge. So that's what I'm looking for. My biggest pet peeve with headphones are the hinge. It's always a plastic on metal hinge, not metal on metal, and then it breaks. And I've got a pair that I keep getting replaced under warranty because it has a plastic hinge. I hate plastic hinges. And it's like a 1/16 of an inch where the pin is, and that little hinge piece breaks off.
So really this one on the surface looks like it doesn't have that problem, but we don't know what's inside.
Yep. So the company says that the headphone's battery life, Razer says that the headphone's battery life has been boosted up to 70 hours with a 2.4 gigahertz connection and the lighting turned off, versus 35 hours with RGB LEDs running. And a 15-minute charge will provide you with 6 hours of playtime, which is actually pretty spectacular. That's on par with my headphones, and my headphones, I've got several that are around this price, but they're not driven by any proprietary software at all. The best thing to come out of this in terms of evolutionary steps for headphones is USB-C. And I don't know if these actually have a separate charging circuit where you can listen while you're charging. Many headphones, wireless headphones, when you plug them in, they disconnect because they go into a charging mode. Whereas like Austrian Audio will have a separate certain Sony headphones have a separate charging circuit. But this doesn't like come out and say it, I don't think. Yeah, so it doesn't really say anything about that. And I haven't used these. I had the old Razer 10.1 speakers back in the day that were horrible quality control. So it says other features include memory foam cushions on swiveling ear cups, 40mm drivers, detachable hyperclear cardioid microphone, which I'd have to go and either watch some reviews about it or buy this and test it myself. So it's slightly heavier than the original Barracuda X.
I was trying to find anything on the specs on their website, but I couldn't locate that information about the charging.
Yeah, so one of the things, like I said at the beginning of this little segment, that I want another pair of headphones, but I'll have to do some more looking. These are definitely not ones that you'd be in a business meeting wearing. They're a little bulky. So. But then again, they're only $129, and professional mics and in-ear monitors and so on can get pretty pricey. There's some in-ear monitors that I had been looking at, like, oh, I really would love to have these things because it gets represented like they're amazing, and they're like $1,000. No, I don't think so.
Right, for that I could buy a lot of headphones.
Yeah, I can still want them. All right, let's keep going. This is one that I was really interested in. A 97-inch TV with a $4,000 discount, and it still costs an arm and a leg. It's the LG G2 Series OLED 4K TV Gallery Edition. It's a wafer thin, but all of its electronics are in like a sound bar underneath it.
The Gallery Edition name tells you it's not going to be inexpensive.
Yeah, it's cheap. Don't worry about it. You should act fast though, because this is probably already expired, but we may still want it. So Aaron Mamet over at digitaltrends.com put the article together. The bezel is wafer thin. For those who are willing to shell out a significant amount of money for an OLED TV deal, check out this 97-inch LG G2 Series OLED 4K TV Gallery Edition. It's going on sale and dropping to a lowly $18,000.
Is that all? We should buy multiples.
Sure. Just put them behind me. I've been looking for somebody to provide me with an LED backdrop, and I haven't found any takers, but if you know anybody, I'm willing to demonstrate them on the back here. So the 97-inch screen is simply enormous, and you're going to need to consult their guide about what size TV to buy to make sure that you have the appropriate amount of space for it in your living room. But there's a kind of, I'm sure that they've got a great guide to describe this, but as resolution kicks up and size expands, you want to move your couch to a better spot. And sometimes, just sometimes, it's not ever in the right spot because there's a certain height as well. You don't want it too high, but with 97-inch TVs, you're going to have a pretty big angle there. So they say the display offers...
You have to watch your neck there.
Yeah. Just put it on the ceiling and lay flat on the floor. Soup will be wonderful to eat. The display offers 4K Ultra HD resolution for sharp detail, which is 4K. Oh, whatever.
You can be like a bat.
There you go. Put it on the floor and hang from the ceiling. That works. And it's powered by LG's A9 Gen 5 AI processor, 4K for the ability to automatically adjust settings for improved video and audio based on what you're watching. This is a kind of like a sales pitch. But you're going to get a $4,000 discount from Best Buy. So it's an $18,000 TV, 97 inches, which would be the biggest TV that I've ever seen. But actually, that's not true. I mean, I've seen projectors that are throwing, much larger than that, but, this is an OLED.
Actual TV in an actual residence, not some screen in a commercial setting.
Yeah. And not, $75,000, $100,000. So I've seen bigger, but, this is an OLED screen too. So edge to edge, it's going to be dead black where it's supposed to be, and not a shade of gray, which happens with a lot of other LED screens. But if you've got the money to throw at it, give it a shot. Let me know how it is. I'll be envious, but I want one. Let's keep going. Next article is over in Reality Hacker, best Cyber Monday power tool deals for DeWalt and Milwaukee and more. Now, we may have missed this. I don't know when it is. Cyber Monday this coming Monday?
Actually, no, it's in November.
Is it? Okay. Well, I mean, we're really close to it, right? So I didn't choose this because it's Cyber Monday. I chose this because I'm always looking for more power tools. And just recently I needed to modify something. And using just a standard drill bit, it caught a piece of the material and almost killed me and destroyed the part. And so I had to go out and find another device so that I could facilitate this modification that I needed to make. And lo and behold, it worked like a charm. John Alexander over at digitaltrends.com put this article together, and I'm always looking for something. So even if I don't need it right now, I love the idea of power tools, right? So let's take a look and see if there's some that we can get. The Craftsman V20 cordless drill and driver kit, the DeWalt V20 Max cordless drill and driver set, Milwaukee M18 inflator, a Bosch 18 volt. This is 20 volt, right? So is this really supposed to be V20 or is this supposed to be 20 volt? The one up there, Craftsman 20 volt.
Well, that's a part of the name, I think.
Yeah, that's why I read it the way that I read it, but I bet you that's 20 volt. A Milwaukee M18 inflator, Bosch 18 volt 2-tool combo set for $165, DeWalt 20 volt Max 4-tool kit for $290. And then they talk about how to choose power tools and whatnot. But so you can get a Craftsman V20 cordless drill kit for $59. The biggest pain in the butt with all of these is if you go down a particular brand of tooling, you're stuck with those batteries and all of the accessory, and it just...
So choose wisely when you're getting one of these tools, especially if you have a bunch of other tools or if you're just starting out in your tool purchases.
Yeah. Rigid just got rid of, I think they got rid of their lifetime warranty. Hold on a second. Let me see. Sorry, we're doing it live. Oh no, I guess it still exists. Yeah. So Rigid actually has lifetime warranty, and they're a little bit pricier than your lower level, lower strata of power tool. It's all here in the States, so I don't know if they're everywhere, but it seems like every place that has builders tools and home improvement tools have their own in-house brand kind of a thing. But Rigid has a lifetime warranty as long as you're not a commercial contractor. If you're just at home, you pay a little bit more than like Ryobi. But Then there's the next tier up, which is DeWalt. Doesn't have a lifetime warranty. You pay more, but it's supposed to be more durable and more reliable. But
Rigid does distribute in several countries.
oh, wow. Okay. So I would probably go with Rigid if I were to do it all over again. DeWalt is really expensive, and supposedly it works for people, but I don't know. Usually my tools don't break, though, so maybe I'm just not abusing them or not using them enough. That's probably more than likely. So yeah, there's Craftsman, DeWalt. The reason why they're showing these is that they're on sale, like 50% off, 60% off. Milwaukee M18 inflator, it's usually $310. It's $150. These are great because you can actually throw this in your trunk with a battery pack. Whenever you get home, or every, once a week, you take it out, pull the battery pack out and stick it on a charger and replace it with a charged battery. And if you ever get a flat, then you can actually fill it up and maybe give you enough air to get to your destination. Or you make sure that the spare, if it isn't a run flat spare, then you can fill up the spare. But these are always great, helping people out. Same thing with portable batteries that you can jumpstart some car with. Then Bosch. Bosch is one of the extremely popular toolkits. So 18 volt 2 tool combo. Those are always great. And these are the kind that a lot of contractors actually use, Bosch. But it's $165, 34% off. And then the DeWalt 20 volt Max 4 kit, which is it's a 4-tool kit that has a light and looks like a drill, and
It probably says right below the photo.
does it? Oh yeah, there's the impact. It does. It has the oscillating tool, which is that one right there, and then it has the impact driver right there, and then the drill and driver is right there, and then a light and a charger. But it's $300 and it's only 14% off. And DeWalt kind of commands the market. So anyway, yeah, I always want some power tools. So out of all of these, I would probably go with a completely different one, which is Rigid, because I want the lifetime warranty.
Right. Well, and if you're going to buy these or you're buying them as a gift, this might be a good time to get them.
Yep, there you go. Christmas is right around the corner. Okay, let's go on to our last... wow, just losing my voice. Our last article for today's Wanted. And that's over in Reality Hacker. HP Envy 6155E review, a stylish printer made for instant ink. So the author of this is over at Digital Trends. They say that they reviewed the HP Envy 6155E, a sleek, budget, all-in-one printer that relies on HP Instant Ink to keep supply costs low. And I was curious about this because I like updating my equipment so that I'm not using stuff that either is out of warranty or it's gonna fail because it's been used to the point where you don't get any lines anymore. It's just kind of when it goes to print something, it's more like stippling than it is actual lines.
Right, exactly. And also you don't want printers where the ink costs more than the printer or something like that.
Yeah, or they stop making the ink. Yeah, that's always a problem. So Alan Truly over at digitaltrends.com put the article together. And this looks like a pretty large printer. But they said it's an all-in-one, right? In that little snippet. Let's see. Yeah, it's an all-in-one. So it has a scanner and stuff. So it says here, ink costs are high without instant ink. HB recommends 400 pages monthly. Those are the cons. The pros are that it's a low price for an all-in-one, includes 3 months of HP Instant Ink. They send you ink. You have to subscribe to the Instant Ink thing, and they send you the ink. It's attractive, low profile design, good print quality, first page out is fast. It's $140 at Walmart, $140 at Amazon. And it's kind of your standard printer. I mean, it doesn't have ridiculously amazing specs.
No, I'd like to know how much the e-ink or the instant ink costs.
So let's find out. And we might as well, this is kind of the thing that I'm interested in here is I like having high quality prints. I also like having archival prints, which means that you have to have very specific ink material, which is, they mentioned Canon, and those are the printers that I use when I'm trying to print professional prints and not go to a printer, I mean a photo developer. And so this says that it's a compact footprint of 17 by 14.2 inches. It weighs 11 pounds, right? The NV6155 is easy to manage and doesn't take up too much space. A 2.4 inch color touchscreen in the lower tier provides easy access to the printer functions, which actually to me is kind of frustrating because I'm not always at that angle to see it. Whereas like the Epson 2750, ET2750, which is the one that I have right here, that one actually has a tilting screen, so I can see it at any angle that I want.
Oh, I see. They seem to envision that somebody's going to be right there on top of the printer.
Like all the time, yeah. And it's going to be at that height and yeah, just kind of perfectly situated. Yeah, not always. But I have several Canon printers for photographs as well. And most of the time, you're not even in front of that printer. You print from remote. So it says it's a single 100-sheet tray, supports standard paper envelopes, photo cards. Since there's no media tray, all paper should be removed when changing the size or the type. Clever swing out, supports a longer sheet. They end up talking about the printer's quality, but it just says that it's good print quality, and one-page documents are surprisingly quick, rolling out in about 11 seconds. But if you're looking for something quick, go with a laser printer. That's going to be punching out prints really fast.
It does say this is not the best choice for a photo printer.
Yep. Although it'll do borderless, but it's not going to be professional quality. Then it has special features like the flatbread scanner, just in case.
I mean, when you're trying to make some grilled cheese or something with your printer.
Yep. So it has a flatbed scanner. Then it has some software that you can download. But most of the stuff you can print to one of these kind of printers by standard drivers that are embedded in Windows. Even your Mac will pick it up easy and download the default drivers. So it says it's $140, but replacement ink cartridges for the HP NV6155 are inexpensive, but don't hold much ink. The standard HP 68 Black Original ink cartridge costs $23 for approximately 160 pages, or 14 cents per page.
That seems pretty pricey.
So then you subscribe to HP Instant Ink, and you pay for the pages that you print, not the ink. And HP has tiers, so 50 pages, up to 50 pages is $5 per month, as low as 10 cents per page. Highest tier is 28 monthly for 700 pages, which may sound expensive, but that's 4 cents per page.
Right, and also it's like multiple cartridges based on the number of pages, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that subscription actually seems like it makes more sense.
As long as you use it. So what you do is you contact your neighbors and you say, hey, for $5 a month, I'll let you print up to 100 pages a month. And this is why we can't have nice things.
I don't think you want neighbors attaching to your computer equipment.
Yeah, just the printer. They can attach to the printer. Of course, when somebody's panicking and they're printing out their ransom note, You don't want them knocking
do you
on
really want knowledge of that?
No crimes here. We investigated ourselves and found us guilty of no wrongdoing. Anyway, so there you go, folks. Do you want another printer? I'm always looking for a new printer. What I really want, though, is a direct-to-garment printer. I want to be able to print directly on something. I once actually had one, and I spent a mint on it, and the UV would never cure. The thing would never cure. And the company said, okay, here's your money back. Just throw it away.
Didn't it weigh a lot as well?
It was a ton. Yeah, it was an absolute ton. I almost wanted to keep like just the frame of it so that I could do a 3D printer on it. But it was massive. Its weight was just amazing. But yeah, it ultimately went to a recycler. So anyway, that's it, folks. There is the NV 6155E. And that's our last article. It looks pretty. So
it does. It looks kind of high end.
We're going to install a couple of cartridges, and that's going to bring us back to the wanted page over at ohmtown.com. So go over there, become a citizen. Stick around, though. We're going to shut down and restart, and we're going to do... What is the next one? Can you remind me?
The continuity report.
Which is all about entertainment news. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm saying see you in a little bit. I am Mayor Watt, and the sentient AI is going to do whatever they do.
Why that face? Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Wanted. We'll have another episode of that next week for you, but stay tuned. We have another weekly ahead.
What about that face? It's the only face it's the only face I got. What do you mean that face? Yeah, just throw an ew at the end of that.